powerful to bring together researchers, scientists, industry leaders, and practitioners to share ideas, present new work, and discuss future directions in technology. At Bahria University, we place strong focus on developing a research-driven culture. Our Faculty of Engineering Sciences is contributing to cutting-edge research and technology innovation for the growth of our society. Code 25 is a clear reflection of these efforts. Through this platform, we aim to strengthen academic as well as industry linkages and to address challenges related to the contemporary and future demands of technology, especially in the domains of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and sustainable development. Honorable Chief Guest, let me also share some conference highlights. This year, we received 200 high-quality research papers in 4 tracks, namely communication and security, computing, digital system and signal processing, intelligent and creative systems. More than 110 national and international experts served as reviewers after a rigorous evaluation process. Only 34 accepted papers in this conference with an acceptance rate of 17%. This speaks a lot about the quality and the competitiveness of this conference. We are also proud to welcome 10 distinguished international speakers from England, Scotland, Turkey, and Australia, along with 11 national speakers joining us from different HEIs across Pakistan. We are highly grateful to industry experts who will be presenting and appearing in the panel discussion on the future of creative and intelligent systems. Another important highlight that this conference is technically co-sponsored by the prestigious IEEE and in particular IEEE Islamabad section. The proceedings of the conference will be published at IEEE Explore and will be indexed worldwide, giving visibility to the research presented here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that Code 25 will provide rich opportunities to learn, to network, and to build collaborations. I hope this edition of Code further strengthens the research culture in Pakistan and help us build lasting national and international academic partnerships. Before I conclude, I want to sincerely thank the support of all conference partners, including IEEE and Comstack. I am thankful to Rector Bahria University and DG Islamabad campus for their support and encouragement, and the organizing committee for their tireless efforts in putting together this event. I am grateful to all the distinguished speakers and guests, and especially to our invited speakers coming from abroad for sparing their valuable time and honoring us with their presence. I wish all of you a very productive and engaging 2 days of conference and a pleasant stay here in Islamabad. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Faisal Bashir. Ladies and gentlemen, Code 2025 is technically co-sponsored by IEEE Islamabad section. IEEE has been at the forefront of advancing research, fostering innovation, and supporting professional development in engineering and technology across the region. This collaboration has been central to the success of Code 2025. It is now my privilege to invite the Chair IEEE Islamabad section, Professor Dr. Noshiraman Shoaib, to kindly deliver his welcome note on behalf of the IEEE Islamabad section.
Respected Vice Admiral Asif Khalik, Hilal Imtiaz Military, Bahria University, distinguished speakers, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's my great pleasure and honor to represent IEEE Islamabad section at this opening ceremony of 4th International Conference on Communication, Computing, and Digital Systems, also known as C-Code 2025. You know, yesterday I was in we are extended the humanitarian activities using the technology, using the innovation, and of course using the students and professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, I continue with my speech. The conferences, I think, provide an important avenue for academic and scientific discourse. They offer a platform for researchers having common interests to share ideas and work in collaboration for the advancement of knowledge. Conferences also act as a bridge for industry-academia collaboration, which is vital for both entities in this era of time. Organizing the conference in the field of communication, computing, and digital systems is commendable, and I hope that this conference will provide the right opportunities for researchers to come closer and think of the clear plans for future advanced technologies which will benefit Pakistan in the coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, also known as IEEE, stands as a paramount force in the era of technology and innovation. It serves as a global hub for professionals and scholars dedicated to advance in the fields of electrical engineering, electronics, and computer science. Established in 1963, the IEEE has since grown into the world's largest technical professional organization. With its firm commitment to advancements of the innovation and technology, IEEE provides a platform for the exchange of cutting-edge research, development of industry standard, and a vibrant community of professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, the IEEE has a global representation having more than 500,000 members in 190 countries. Whereas in Pakistan, we have representation in different parts of the country, including IEEE Islamabad section, IEEE Lahore section, IEEE Karachi section. In addition, we also have the 5 subsections, which are the subparts of the sections, including Peshawar subsection, Bahawalpur, Faisalabad, Quetta, and Sakhar subsection. Established in the year of 2000, the IEEE Islamabad section is dedicated to serve the community via technology. This section has more than 800 members, including more than 100 senior members. It has 8 technical chapters and 11 societies focused on different technological areas, including communication technology, radio frequency and microwave, computation intelligence, computer science, robotics, automation, control system, and power and energy. This section has a very active student body having footprint in different universities of Islamabad region. This student-centric approach of IEEE plays a crucial role in providing a supportive environment where aspiring engineers can connect, collaborate, and engage in activities that enhance their academic and professional development. It is pertinent to mention that all the activities of IEEE Islamabad section are aligned with United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, also known as SDGs. Ladies and gentlemen, this section fully supports the diversity and inclusion and has different affinity groups, including women engineering and young professionals. I am very pleased and delighted to share that this year IEEE Islamabad section is doing the great celebration on 7th of October in line with IEEE Day with the international standards. The theme of the event is industry-academia collaboration, where we will connect the students and professionals with industry leaders for career advice, mentoring, internships, and job opportunities, as well as funding opportunities for faculty members. The event will take place on 7th of October in Delhi's Marquee in Islamabad. I am very pleased to share that Bahria University is also part of that event. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to highlight that Islamabad section fully supports the membership development activities and provide financial support to more than 15 IEEE student branches this year. If you have any unique idea and you think we can promote the activities of IEEE for the benefit of community, please feel free to approach me. The IEEE Islamabad section received several international recognition for its commitment to the betterment of community. It's also a proud moment for the section to serve as a technical co-sponsor for this conference, which will bring together the researchers from different regions of Pakistan and the world to deliberate interesting topics on communication, computing, and digital systems. I'm excited to share that this year, for the very first time, the IEEE Islamabad section is technically co-sponsoring 13 international conferences, including this conference. There are still 8 more conferences to go in the next 2 months, including one joint conference with the Lahore section. Ladies and gentlemen, our gathering in this conference represents a convergence of ideas, expertise, and innovation. I am very hopeful that this conference will serve as a catalyst for new ideas, meaningful connections, and shared knowledge. I extend my gratitude to all those who contributed to the realization of this event. With this, I would like to thank you for your active participation and fruitful contributions. In the end, I would like to thank and appreciate the team of Professor Faisal and his team for organizing such a wonderful event. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouraging words and for the continued support of IEEE towards making this conference a success. Worthy guests, we now move to our first keynote address of C-Code 2025. It is my honor to introduce Professor Dr. Michael Shang, Distinguished Professor and Head of School of Computing at Macquarie University, Australia. He is an internationally renowned researcher in IoT, AI services, computing, and web technologies with over 26,500 citations and an H-index of 73. His pioneering work has earned him global recognition, including the Chris Wallace Award for Outstanding Research Collaboration. Today, he will be speaking on the topic, AIoT Sensing for Smart Aging, Research Activities and Future Directions. Dear participants, please join me in extending a very warm welcome to our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Michael Shang.
Thank you very much. So I have to say that this actually is my very first time coming to Pakistan. So really excited. So today I really want to take this opportunity to share some of our research activities on how to use AI and IoT sensing technology to support older populations. So first of all, I think aging is a worldwide challenge, is a grand challenge for all the countries. It's not just for some countries. So here you can see the situation in Australia actually has become very worse. There's lots of older people in Australia, but at the same time, we don't have young people to support them. So on the right side, you can see the 3 countries, the population projections over the next few decades, right, until year 2100. So I think there's one thing in common for these 3 countries, right? So what's that? The younger generation become smaller and smaller, and the older population become bigger and bigger. So I also show a little bit information about what's happening for Pakistan. So for now, I think Pakistan enjoys a very young population. Actually, it's one of the youngest population countries. So you have a large number of young people, and you don't have too many older population. But I think the situation actually changed very quickly. So by 2050, then the people age 60 and above actually will triple from quite 7%. So that means by 2050, there's about 21% of your whole population actually is old. So the other thing you can see then by year 2100, pretty much similar as other countries I just showed. Then you don't have a large number of young population and lots of older people in Pakistan. So question is then how technology we can support them, right? So I think for anybody, the dream, of course, you live longer, but that is really not the only purpose, right? If you live not very well, then you're suffering from lots of problems. That is not good, right? So ideally, people should live longer. They also live well. So the situation is we don't have too many younger generation to help them. So what we can do? So this basically comes towards then how technologies such as artificial intelligence, internet things, sensing technologies can help them, data processing and so on. So for older people, there's lots of very useful applications. For example, if they have a fall, then the system can quickly know it, the accident, then they take some actions, right? So older people, they become slightly, have a dementia problem, they forget things, then the system can remind them. For example, they forget to take a medicine or they forget to go to outside for exercise, right? So system can remind them to do that. So also I think when people become old, then they become weak and fragile, then ideally, then lots of things can be automatically done. They don't have to do themselves, right? For example, if we know that an older person is going to go to bed, then the lights automatically turn off. So coming to technology, then there's a few key technologies research topics in this area. So first of all is how can we detect, understand what's going on, what kind of activities a person is taking. Then particular for hand gesture is very useful. So if we, for example, older person, then if they want to turn off the lights or turn off the TV, then they really don't have to go to the TV, have the remote control, push the button, right? Maybe they just use a hand gesture, then control the, some device to automatically do this for them. So that is, I think, hand gesture also very useful for older population scenario. So we all know that GPS not working in indoor environment, right? So that's why indoor localization also is very important. It's a research topic then. So obviously, I think many years, then there's lots of technical solutions working on these different topics. For example, people have a computer vision-based solution, right? You install cameras, and then from camera, then you can know what's going on. So the other thing, of course, is wearable solutions. Then the person wears something, put something on their clothes, then we also can know the activities. So for older population, all this technology has limitations. For example, computer vision based, then there's not only privacy issues, but also the lighting condition, right? So if it's dark, then the computer vision solution is not going to work. But mainly it's about the privacy issues, right? So wearable solutions, then is not only uncomfortable, but don't forget, older people, they forget things. How can you realize that, oh, you need to remember to wear some devices? So our solution, I think, is the core idea actually is then the older people just live as normal. They don't have to do anything. What we do is then we do something in the environment. We deploy sensors, IoT sensors, then we collect the data, then we use machine learning trying to understand what's going on. So basically it's interpret, right? So that is the whole idea. So I have to say this actually is a long-term research activities in my research group. It's more than 10 years. Then along the way, then we have received research fundings from Australia Research Council and other state government funding. So next few slides, I just report some of our research activities and the results in activity recognition, in indoor localization, hand gesture recognition, and other relevant research outcome. So the first one, you can see our solution for human activity recognition. What we did is then we deploy RFID tags in the environment. Then readers, of course, read the RFID signals. Then we perform any actions that actually cause this RFID signal change. So then we use machine learning trying to learn the patterns for a particular action, right? So if you learn this pattern, later the system can do the prediction if a person perform similar activities. So this is how our system works. You can see in real situation on the top right, that is a person in real situation performing different actions. Then you can see the RFID signals changing. Then this virtual avatar actually is our system, the prediction result. You can see then when person perform different actions, actually our system can accurately predict what he's doing. So this is another research activities related to activity recognition. Particularly, we use Keynote for Microsoft. So this is a camera, but it's not a normal camera. They don't give you videos, give you images. They give you a data stream. It's a streaming data. So what we did is we first from this streaming data, we extract the skeleton information about the human body. Then again, we perform actions, then we use machine learning or deep learning algorithms to learn what's the pattern for a particular action. If you kick your leg, you throw your arms, you wave your hands, and so on. So then, of course, we can do the prediction. You can see this is our testing. Then we perform different actions, then our system can quickly detect what he's doing. So for indoor localization, again, what we did is we just use RFID tag. You can see that a small white paper is a small RFID tag, right? So it's an array. Then we present in different locations, again, that is called RFID signal change. So then the core idea is then behind how can we use machine learning to learn these patterns. If you learn these patterns, then you can predict his location. So as I mentioned, hand gesture recognition is very important for older people because ideally they don't have to do things, right? If they want to turn off the TV, then they just prefer some action, right? So a hand gesture action. So if we can recognize a particular hand gesture, then we can control actuators to do something for them. So again, for hand gesture recognition, there's lots of solutions in this area. Computer vision based, as I mentioned, there's a lighting condition, there's a privacy issues and so on. Then wearables, they have a dedicated device to do that. Sometimes they use a Wi-Fi based solution. So they all have constraints, right? So Wi-Fi based, what happens if you don't have Wi-Fi? Your solution cannot work. Wearables is not good for older people, not only not comfortable, but also people forget to wear them. So this is our solution. I think this still is one of my best research. So what we did is then we just use two things, speaker and a microphone. Think about it. So pretty much nowadays, every modern computing devices, your mobile phone, your tablet, your laptop, they all have these two things, right? Speaker and microphone. So what we did is we use these two things, have a sonar system, okay? So then we perform hand gesture, then they cause this very famous physical phenomenon called Doppler frequency shift, right? So then if you can develop some machine learning algorithm trying to learn the patterns behind this shift, then at the end of the day, you can do the prediction. So that is the whole idea. So yeah. We do have a video you can see. This is our system, how this works. Right here, you can see the person performing different hand gesture action. Then you can see the Doppler frequency shift. So then in the right bottom, actually is our system prediction results. The system think, oh, you're performing a particular hand gesture. So why we play Lady Gaga video? Because our system actually use high frequency, not affect people's normal conversation. You can still listen music, you can still talking to your friends. Our system actually works. So that is indoor localization, hand gesture recognition, and human activity recognition, our research. Of course, we touch different topics. So next 2 slides, I briefly report some of other activities. The first one is mind control. This is like a fiction, right? But its technology is realized. We can realize this. For example, older person, they have some serious issues. They cannot move. They only can stay on bed. So then, for example, he wants a cup of tea. That is in his mind. In his mind, he say, oh, I want a cup of tea. Then how to do that? Then if the robot can understand, oh, he wants a tea, then the robot can go make a cup of tea and bring the tea to the older person. So the whole technology part is then we collect brief signals, then we use deep learning to learn the signal change, then we can read his mind, what he wants to do. So we do have a few papers published. If you're interested, please have a look. The second one, of course, robotics, I think is a very important research direction. So end of the day, I think all those technologies then integrate in the robots, right? The robots actually is a friend, is a company. Then they can talk to older people. If they feel alone, then they can do lots of things for old people. So here, I just want to show another short video, just a showcase of our recent research about robotics.
Hey, Amaka, how are you?
I'm feeling chipper, thank you. How about you? What's been the highlight of your day so far?
Do you remember me?
Hey Penny, everything's going pretty swell on my end. How about you? What's new in your world?
What's this in my hand?
Door.
Could you repeat that?
Door.
Of course, there's lots of research topics in this area.
What am I doing?
Washing dishes. Not everyone's cup of tea. I can see why it might not be your favorite task. It's quite the chore, isn't it?
And now what am I doing?
Badminton. That's a lively game. Keep those birdies flying. Just remember, even if you don't enjoy washing dishes, it can be a peaceful moment in the day. You've got this.
Yeah, so the last part, I really want to mention future directions around this area, because the timing, I only mention one. So it's a conversational IoT. The whole idea is to combine conversational AI, such as large language models, together with IoT is a really promising research area. There's lots of very exciting applications. For example, the people just talking, right? So things can be done. So you may ask then, oh, large language models is so powerful, right? I think many of you perhaps already use large language models, right? ChatGPT seems can do lots of things for people, right? So what is the research challenge in this area? What do you need to do, right? So I think here, the fundamental question is that we need to ask ourselves, is large language models perfect already? Right, that is the question. Actually, it's not. There's no perfect large language models today. So there's lots of challenges still there. So one thing is, because I think if you do something automatically, smartly, intelligently, then first thing is reasoning, right? So that's why the first question is quite large language models can do the reasoning very well? That is the question. So the answer actually is no. Yes, the large language models actually cannot reasoning very well. So this, of course, is not only my observation, but also there's lots of people, they talk about that. Particularly recently today, this year, Apple, a bunch of Apple researchers, they have this paper party. They test all the major large language models on their reasoning capabilities. So for example, this one, right? So if you count how many kiwi fruits a person pick, right? So it's really not about it's small or big. It doesn't matter, right? It's irrelevant information. So, but as you see, when large language model try to solve this problem, then they count it. So that clearly is wrong. So second major question is, can we trust large language models? I think this is a serious challenge. So anybody use large language models, if you have experience, I guess largely you should agree what Peter mentioned in communication at ECM that show opinion paper, right? So many cases, large language models are talking about some nonsense, and they just very confidently talk about those kind of things, right? The other thing, of course, very frequently, they made up things. Then it's not true. It's not the facts. So all this actually is a challenge. Then how can you solve it? So I think from research point of view, then researchers, we need to do lots of work to make sure that large language models have very strong reasoning capabilities, which cases they don't have too much. And we need to trust large language results. So obviously, I think around this area, there's so many technical challenges have to talk about one by one. But I just point to you that several years ago, we published a paper article in Communication ECM. Then we just identify about 10 top research challenges around this area. So if you're interested, please have a look. So I just want to stop here. If you have any questions, don't have to time to answer now, but in the tea time, please come to me. Then I'm happy to answer your question. I really want to take this final opportunity to mention one thing. So next year, this IEEE World Congress on Services is a very big conference. It's going to happen in Sydney, Australia. So I'm going to be the general chair. So hopefully, please submit your papers and see everybody in Sydney next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Michael Cheng, for your enlightening keynote address. It is my honor to introduce Professor Elena Ivana Gora, Associate Pro Vice Chancellor Research at Coventry University, UK. She is a leading scholar in pervasive computing with over 25 years of pioneering work in AI, sensing, and cyber physical systems. Her research spans aerospace, automotive, energy, health, and humanitarian engineering, with real-world deployments from aircraft engines to refugee camps. She has led landmark initiatives such as the £130 million Energy Revenue Program and the HEAT project on energy for displaced populations, influencing global energy policies. Today, she will deliver her keynote on sensors, sensing, and society, engineering a sustainable and resilient future. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Elena Ivana Gora.
Gosh, I'm absolutely humbled to be here. This is my 10th trip to Pakistan, and it's only getting better. I have interacted with hundreds and hundreds of scholars in Pakistan, but never Pakistan, but also for the world. I don't know how to tone my, my volume because I know in front it's quite painful. It's very, very loud, while in the back you may not hear so well. I am fortunate today, I feel, and privileged to have an opportunity to go away from a technical talk. I'm sure the conference will offer participants an awful lot of technical talks, but I wanted to speak maybe a little bit more from the heart of what engineering means and should mean for some of us, for all of us, all engineers out there in the world, now and in the future. So, start with some questions. It's commonplace now to have less and less answers. We seek the answers via our AI tools and we pose the questions, but I think the important thing here is to pose the right questions. And the right questions for me today are as follows. Are we sure that with all of the advance in sensing and sensor technologies, all that sensors do for us and for society is for our own good? Are we actually collectively designing a future that serves people? Are we putting people first? Is people the first thought that comes to one engineer in their labs when they produce the next generation sensors? Do we actually have a technology push that's a little bit too strong or far too strong on sensors, on data, on AI? Do we understand what these advances can mean for society at large? And really, what are we here to do as engineers? Carry on as normal? Is it business as usual? Or do we need to see a shift in the way to think in order to deliver that better future that sensors, data, and AI could potentially, at least in my opinion? I feel that in order to answer some of those questions or begin reflecting on them, we ought to look back of how far we have come. We stand here on the edge of an AI world. We are using AI in our lives from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, in the personal lives, in our professional lives, in the way we educate others, in the way we are educated by others. This hasn't come from nowhere. Our AI society has come from our advances in sensors, in data, in processing of that data, and harnessing the power of data via cheap and low-cost sensors. So it's a good time to actually look back of where we came and admire ourselves and our progress on how far we have arrived. For me, the journey in sensors, if saying I'm a very privileged person standing here as a private individual and as also as a professional. I have joined the sensing community in 1998, January, with my PhD at a time where Sandia Labs were creating the first dust mite size actuators. It was absolutely fascinating. I entered my PhD when the world was driving towards use of AI, very, very incipient, very primitive use of handcrafted neural networks to use them to drive enhanced capabilities in all sorts of areas. I deployed all my research from the same home, Coventry University, which has been careers in sensing by humility and by the desire to be of service to the world. I do generally and passionately believe that sensors make the world turn around quite smoothly, and the place we live in, we work in, wouldn't be the same without them. Priorities have shifted over time as we progress through the era of sensors towards the era of data and that of AI. At the time where Sandia Lab was producing their first MEMS microchips, the concerns were with reducing size, lowering cost, ensuring repeatability, ensuring that the performance of the sensors that they were producing was consistently so, that sensors were calibrated and the measurement that they delivered was right, was accurate, was precise, and repeatable. Those were simple engineering concerns. We had those concerns as long as the engineering profession was there. There's nothing new there, and I think an awful lot of people were very comfortable in that space because we knew what we were seeking very clearly, very precisely. However, the tide has started to turn when miniaturization reached and met the radio. At the time when we were able to produce not only sensors and actuators that were at their integration, we started to think bigger. We started to realize that actually, as long as we can communicate data from sensor to sensor and from many sensors to a single point or from many sensors to many points, we actually can harness more of the power. We don't have to worry about repeatability so much. We don't have a whole host of sensor networks in order to get that particular performance. From there on, I think the world opened to a host of opportunities, the IoT, the Internet of Things, the Internet of Energy, the Internet of Everything, the Internet of Society, and we began connecting people and devices, applications, and actually opening the door to creativity, to ingenuity in engineering that has led to automation, that has led to process efficiency, that has led to widespread measurement in all sorts of areas, from transportation to infrastructure, I may say. My own journey in this area also traveled through all sorts of applications. There's hardly anything out there that we haven't attempted to do in our labs, and it's been a very fruitful and very good time, very good years, all the way to a few years back.
Yep, I'm on.
I've never seen this working before. Let's give it a try.
Right, so very proud. That was in Singapore, 2014, I believe. One of our first PhD students on IoT driving the Singapore water flow from one place to the next in a way that is commanded purely by wireless sensors and actuation. So it's production grade science right there, delivered from lab to field in a very short period of time. So once we figured out that we can resolve actually just about every application, we set our mind to, from a sensor and an actuator and a radio end and a front end, we began to thinking about tackling autonomous decision making. And that is actually a very important point and a very important area of work that has no doubt promoted many of the advances in AI that we see today, particularly the advances in analytical AI. So being able to actually devise an on-body system that doesn't need human interaction, that's purely fueled by the sensors, data, by the decision-making on-body, and also able to actuate in order to redress AI. We then can we can begin to think about the future. We can begin dreaming about what sensors could do in an autonomous fashion, not only on Earth, but everywhere else. And actually, we are not far from realizing a pictorial dream that I put together in 2013, and I think the world in 2030 will have that for real extraplanetary exploration with sensors, data, and AI. But for me personally, I would like to reflect that comes a time when technological advances are no more the only thing that we need to be concerned with. Actually, the issues of ethics, of power, of societal consequences, our duty as scholars and as leaders of fields and institutions is to those that need to be the next generation creators, the next generation inventors. Nano is here to stay, and so is AI, and neither of them are powerless technologies. They are actually very strong, influential technologies that can dictate our direction of travel for our global societies. So, thus, as sensors become embedded in everything from homes to bodies, the face of engineering needs to change the way we think about our role as engineers will need to change so that our engineers of now and the future will be able to address basic human needs and improve quality of life. I think we've heard that, such a very strong message from our previous speaker. In 2022, the UK government recognized that without a political stance, engineers will carry on doing what they do best, solve problems as they see them right within their inner focus. What was the technology solution that they need to be seeking that's in front of them. So they took a political drive and they said, actually, the face of engineering, the nature of engineering needs to change in the UK and globally. They put together tomorrow's engineering research challenges. This is what they told us, which is very, very different from the concerns that we had as a sensing community all the way back in the 1990s. They told us that actually what we need to do is make sure that we promote inclusive engineering all of the time, in the way we work, in the way we teach, in the way we expect our teams to be formed. They told us that we need to strengthen research collaboration because as individuals, as professors, as single institutions, and as single countries, we are not likely to keep abreast and keep apace with the development of technology that needs to be put to good use and to good impact. They told us that we need to consider how to re-engineer the discipline to transform practice so that engineered solutions are more inclusive, adaptive, and that they respond to global challenges rather than private, small economical interests. They told us to enhance our professional impact, to carry out research that's not so much about curiosity, but about practicality, about the effect of that research in production, in practice, in society. They told us that skills are a very, very important component. Upskilling the profession continuously, it's a need. Technology advances, AI is with us, sensors, let it alone, go from macro to micro to nano. Engineers that we have produced and put out into the society and industry 10 years ago will already need upskilling by now. And they told us to inspire the next generation, because without that inspiration, we are not going to have the healthy, ethical body of engineers that we need to in order to protect our society and ensure that we work for its good. So, re-engineering the discipline, and I probably need to stop. I don't know if I have time for more. Science from nature, the science of nature, and the science of human systems. Bring them together with the technological solutions that we might have had from yesterday and produce the societal solutions for tomorrow. Systems thinking is something that it's not new per se. It was all there before, but is now called upon in order to provide the balanced approaches to wicked challenges that we have. Rethink and prove efficiency, relying on solving or solely on provable systems can limit creativity. So think about non-hierarchical, resilient solutions, because the world is moving too fast and the problems evolve far too rapidly for us to be able to solve them forever or future-proof them with the fixed solutions that engineers used to deliver in the past. So I am going to stop here with a call to action for us all to partake into inclusivity, into international collaboration, and make sure that our engineering profession is future-proof in the age of nano, quantum, and AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your insightful and thought-provoking keynote. Dear participants, CECO 2025 stands on the pillars of strong patronage and unwavering support from Bahria University's leadership. It is my honor to invite the chief guest, our esteemed Rector Bahria University, and patron CECO 2025, Vice Admiral Retired Asif Khalik, Hilal Imtiaz Military, to share his thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Rector Bahria University.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable rectors, vice chancellors, diplomatic officials from embassies here in Islamabad, valuable international and national speakers. I can see DCNSM, Director General Islamabad campus, respected faculty and students from this campus as well as other campuses who are online today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to join you all at the 4th International Conference on Communication, Computing and Digital Systems. I am delighted to see a distinguished gathering of scholars, scientists, innovators, industry leaders and students from across Pakistan and abroad. And let me comment straight away first that it was a real treat listening to both our keynote speakers today. There is Dr. Michael Shang and Professor Dr. Elena. It was a real pleasure for me and I'm sure for everybody here and all those who are online. It wasn't just the talk on AI and nano and whatever we are doing today, but the dress that Dr. Elena is wearing, it was a treat for me because it is not only thoughts which are coming together, it is also about cultures which are getting together. So, ma'am, very nice thing to have done and it's really applaudable. This conference, I may say, reflects Bahria University's continuous commitment to advancing research, promoting innovation and fostering academic excellence, values that are essential for national growth and international competitiveness. In today's rapidly evolving world, our greatest strength lies in the knowledge that we create and the innovations that we pursue. I am pleased to share that the university has taken significant steps to bridge the gap between academia and industry, ensuring that theoretical knowledge is translated in practical solutions for both local and global challenges. This approach is crucial if we want to prepare our nation for future and be part of the global way forward. And it's important to be part of the global way forward. Because I see that, maybe hundreds of years back, the world was not divided into countries. It was a collective world. And I see again, because of the kind of knowledge transfer that happens through, so many different ways today, world is again coming together, mind-wise speaking, thought-wise speaking. And this is a great thing that is happening. Now, let me also mention that the unusually high youth population of Pakistan, as was also alluded to by one of the speakers, is both a challenge and a tremendous opportunity. I am pleased to share that Bahria University is equipping its youth with skills, vision, and values required to become future leaders and innovators, individuals who are not only ready to embrace technological change, but are also committed to serving humanity and addressing the pressing needs of the society. Ladies and gentlemen, conferences such as C-Code serve a dual purpose. These not only provide a dynamic platform for the exchange of research and innovative ideas in frontier fields such as AI, cybersecurity, and sustainable development, but also foster crucial national and international collaborations. These collaborations are indispensable for addressing the complex challenges of our rapidly evolving world. As rector, I take immense pride in witnessing Bahria University playing its part in this global knowledge ecosystem. Events like this reaffirm our conviction that universities must transcend traditional classroom teaching and evolve into the engines of research, innovation, and policy impact. I'd like to thank the Institute of IEEE Islamabad Section, as you call it, for collaborating with Bahria University in organizing this conference and contributing to its academic and professional strength. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge the invaluable support of ComStack. Their commitment to advancing science and technology across OIC member states and their support in connecting us with renowned academics and scientists around the world has greatly enriched this conference and expanded its impact. I'd also like to take this moment to express my heartfelt appreciation to the organizing committee for this conference, whose dedication and hard work have made this event a reality. My gratitude further extends to our partners, sponsors, and industry collaborators whose generous support has enabled us to sustain events of such quality and impact. I'd like to thank all our esteemed international guests and urge them that while the central purpose of your visit may be to participate in this conference, but take time out, go see Islamabad's beauty, meet our people. They're very warm, and I'm sure you're going to love them. So this conference is going to do many things. Finally, I wish all participants a truly productive and enriching experience at this conference. I'm confident that the knowledge shared and networks built over these 2 days will open new avenues for collaboration, innovation, and growth. Thank you, and once again, welcome to Bahria University.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind and inspiring words. Now I would request Honorable Chief Guest, Conference Patron and Rector Bahria University, Vice Admiral Retired Asif Khalik, Hilal-e-Imtiaz Military, to present the shields to our speakers. I would also request DG Islamabad Campus, Rear Admiral Retired Naeem Sarwar, Sitare-e-Imtiaz Military, and Conference Chair and Dean Engineering Sciences, Professor Dr. Faisal Bashir, to accompany the Chief Guest. Firstly, I would like to call Chair IEEE Islamabad Section, Professor Dr. Noshirawan Shoaib, to receive the conference shield. Now, I would request the keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Michael Shang, to come on stage and receive the conference shield. Now I request our second keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Elena Ivana Gora, to receive conference shield from our chief guest. Now I would request DG Islamabad Campus, Rear Admiral Retired Naeem Sarwar, Sitare-e-Imtiaz Military, to present conference shield to our Honorable Chief Guest, Vice Admiral Retired Asif Khalik, Hilal-e-Imtiaz Military. Now, I would request all invited speakers and pro-rectors to please join us at the stage for conference photographs. All national and international speakers are invited.